we'll try another time, and one more time. Um, we'll see a minute, because that's when it started tweaking. So, anyways, this is my opinion of how we can transition into a resource-based economy. Because I'm not even gonna get into it. But let's start with one of the comment in this thread that I basically resonated with me, and that was from this guy named Bjorn Simonson, I guess. Anyways, okay, so what we need is a framework designed to be able to gather all the different flavors of what we're trying to achieve in one place, but without any names to avoid a sense of ownership and inflated egos. Pretty much. We need an open source project with a website with all the information mapped out graphically so it's easy for everyone to get a sense of the layout. Exactly, yes. Very important, which most websites do not, and I'll get into it later, maybe, we'll see. I'm trying to make this really quick because most of you people basically don't have any money. And that's me too, as of now though, but things change. I've been working on some things that basically will bring a lot of money, and I'll be funding a lot of this myself. So instead of having a crowdfund and all this other stuff, which I still will crowdfund even when I use my money, I'm still gonna crowdfund, but because I will use my own money to make it real nice and presentable, people will be attracted to it, and they'll see that there's money into it. Especially people who have money or discipline. Basically, you're trying to convince them because you need them to you need them to, in a sense, share the wealth, the wealth that they're making, by creating a system where, again, everybody has access to things, basically. Anyways, the project needs to describe all the relevant problems of society with different perspectives allowed and how to deal with them. People can upload text, pictures, and videos to underline the points. Good points with good sources will be highlighted, and people can give up or down votes, but everything must be anonymous. It could be a mix between GitHub, exactly. It should be a framework for rational debate with the goal of trying to use the power of better argument and rationality to join everyone towards a common goal. It should aim to get anarchists, communists, TV peers, TZMs together at a common place to design a plan we can all agree on. Yeah, Utopia, but we might be surprised. In a sense, yeah, you will. And as I say, the skilled and the unskilled, you want to attract both. The unskilled you need for labor, and the skilled you need for management and just more complexity, basically. There's a reason why engineers get paid, at least the good ones, and on average, 80 G's, if not more, 100 grand, depending on what kind of engineer you are. Anyways, the graphics would show where we agree, where there's some split, yeah, sort of. It would actually be more of the website and all the I guess if you call it the infographics or the demographics, then yes. Who knows? Maybe after a couple of years we could do something, and if not, at least we could know better why. Exactly. Brainstorming here, blah blah blah. Exactly. So to prove this, that I actually have been working on that, is a quick screen recording of mine that I did developing the Prezi for this, which I will take you guys through that too. As you can see, the website, explaining it, blah blah blah. My problems with other websites and other movements, and so Zeitgeist, Venus Project are not the only one. Vahulahu, whatever you call it, Vahelahu, whatever, is also pretty much up there too. Anyways, and here's a quick view of all the information I've been gathering for about anywhere from 8 to 10 years. I mean, when I really started this is really, you can say about 10 years ago at the latest. So anyways, let me take you down this little rabbit hole real quick, just showing you that I do have stuff, and a lot of stuff behind these folders. Oops. Let's go like this. So the hard part is actually, well, anyways, yeah, I can go on and on and on and on and on, okay? The hard part is getting it all together, okay? So what I use is Prezi. because yeah, big ideas, you need to map them out. You can't retain them all. As you'll see, this information gets very heavy, but the goal is to simplify it. Clear actions people can take uh, to help manifest this. So I don't know if I really want to showcase this because I'm trying to get to the point of how to transition into a real world economy. Oh, I gotta stop real quick and make sure that the audio didn't tweak. Okay, sound is correct. So I guess I'll just quickly give you a super quick rundown of how to get to an RBE. As you can see, I'm not even finished with my presentation, but I'm close. So let's go into presentation mode. Yeah. Okay, I guess I haven't designed the path yet. Anyways, obviously most of you probably already know this through Peter's work. Peter, great, excellent work. Thank you very much. Now it's time for other people to fill in the pieces. We obviously know banks are at the top, right? And also known as creditors. They give us, they lend us money that they supposedly had, right? So then we take that money and we buy something, right? We consume goods from a producer, company, corporations, whatever you want to call them, right? And then obviously these companies also borrowed money from banks, as you can see, business loan. Obviously, you basically know. You guys know this, so I'm not going to waste my time. So these are the most common, you can say, hierarchies, right? There's owners, management, and labor. Small business, corporate hierarchy, they have CEOs, members of the board, stockholders, blah, 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 management, labor, right? Bottom of the line is that you don't have any ownership. Exact same thing with your cities, right? This is the model that most cities, basically all cities, subscribe to, right? The banks loan money to the cities, right? The cities invested and they create water and waste services. Nowadays a lot of them actually just letting that go. But anyways, they build some roads, transportation, stuff like that. They manage property, property taxes. They develop, let's say natural areas for people to go, parks, stuff like that. They handle garbage. I think I already put that waste. Oh yeah, wastewater. Yeah, sometimes they handle garbage, and it's obviously police, right? Security. All the revenue goes back to the banks, because why? The fractional reserve system, all that. You guys know that. Anyways, point being, cities, towns, villages are subservient to the banks too, right? We're all subservient to the banks. So now we get to the problem of the problem. Oops. We're automating things, right? Apart from outsourcing to other countries, blah blah blah, we are automating, right? And they're automating to all these other so-called third world countries, right? And obviously the money won't be able to circulate, so we're going to have economic failure, let alone the ecological failures that we're having, because now robots will produce faster, and if we have basic income, it would just exacerbate the whole problem, right? Accelerate, which is to me in a sense fine, because we have to hit a wall to finally come to our senses in a sense. Anyways, at one point the mass won't be able to buy the products that the robots are making, and economic failure will occur, and with this social collapse if they are connected, right? So what is the solution? Basically, it's co-ownership / cooperative corporations, in a sense. Don't let the word corporation get to you, and ownership and all that crap. Just, again, this is a transition model, not the final, because even the final you won't even, in a sense, won't be entirely the same as what you're thinking of it now. Anyway, I'm not gonna get lost in that. So people unite their money. They concentrate and multiply it through a credit union, community bank. Yes, you want to make a bank, in which I have a perfect example. It's called Mondragon. I'll probably show that later. Perfect example, because that is super crucial. You don't have a bank, you basically don't have the power of a bank to create money out of nothing, right? In this case, we use that exact same thing that a lot of people in this community call evil, right, or bad, or morally wrong, or just wrong, to our advantage, right? So again, money is not the problem. It's the culture. It's just a technology. So basically, this is kind of a linear chronological order of how things would go. So the credit union lends money out to create fundamental cooperatives, and this is obviously the first one is the finance department, which is the credit union, right? Then you got the water, because obviously humans can't live without 3 days of water, pretty much, and obviously you need water to grow agriculture. Da 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 da. So think of all these as obviously businesses. Another word for cooperatives is a business. These are all business, right? So we're still talking about making money and all this stuff, you know. So we're not communists and blah blah blah, or just we're still using money basically. There's no way around it for now. Okay, so hold your horses, hold your pants. Hear me out. So we develop agriculture. Basically, we develop a water company. I'm not going to get into it. That basically means rain harvesting and even selling probably some bottled water, glass bottled water, that's been super oxygenated, and a bunch of other stuff that I could go on and on about water. Obviously, the organic department means our organic farms. Housing department means our architectural and design and build companies. Energy department means us selling our excess electrical and wind solar power. Health department deals with people coming for our healing centers, using our practitioners. Education department, basically university. That would be a university, so that would obviously bring in money from tuition and all that crap. Transportation department, we might build some roads with some new technology we'll develop. Telecommunication department, cooperative, again, this will provide the municipal Wi-Fi, right? Again, all individual companies, they will charge, but you'll see later in my economic model why it won't matter to you. Media department, again, making music videos, educational videos, all that crap. An upcycling department that deals with extracting energy and just repurposing waste. We don't have landfills. Ecotourism, to show people by example. They can come and visit and see what it is to be this way, you know. So we're not running away. We just know there's enough space in the world for everybody to coexist, and you show people better through demonstration than talking about it, blah blah blah. So then we have an industrial design manufacturing department. Again, we need to innovate new products, and obviously that will bring revenue to us. Fire department is just obviously, I mean, we may not even need the fire department, because again, if we're building from scratch, we could put sprinklers all in the right point, and yeah, but just in case, we'll see. You know, maybe saving cats out of trees or whatever, you know. And obviously a legal department, I mean, that's not really going to bring a lot of revenue. That's just for us. Basically it's like having lawyers on retainer, you know, for defending us from the corporate attacks that may happen but may not. Because if there's a bunch of people doing this separately, and there is no one mega collective, then, you know, it's in a sense like we're creating cells, right? Anyways, so you can choose to work for any cooperative, ideally one that you have passion for, you know. So this is what ends up happening. This is the new economic trinity model. So basically, you put your money in the bank, right? We put our money together. We create a community bank, lends out to cooperatives, and then cooperatives build stuff, sell it to you, and then you get a salary from working for one of these cooperatives, and so that money goes back into the bank, which increases our fractional reserves supply, which means we can create more money out of nothing, which means we can keep expanding our cooperatives. So at the end of the day, you get two sources of income, and that's why I was saying earlier it won't matter about you paying for the prices of product at the market rate for the most part, because the profit that's generated here goes to you in the form of salary, and also a dividend, because of the bank that you co-own lended money to the cooperative. So the money basically just circulates to you in two ways, as you see right here. This money going to the bank doesn't necessarily mean that you're spending money. It just means that it's being stored there, but it's still yours, basically. So anyways, yeah, this is a good picture of things that, you know, good idea. I don't know why I did that there, but anyways, maybe I'm not finished there. Anyways, but the second problem is dealing with basically not having a true cradle-to-cradle system. We're dealing with with garbage basically, and it's not garbage actually. It's full of energy. So I guess the problem is laid out this way: resources are extracted, product is made and sold, product is consumed, product ends up in landfill. More resources must be extracted. Right? That's the model right now, as we can see from some of these infographics here. Right? Some graphics, whatever you want to call them, diagrams. This is the cradle system. It's an excellent thing. I won't get into it. I'm sure you guys already know about it, and then you guys can obviously look that up to yourself. Look that up for yourselves, right? Anyways, yeah. So this is the solution basically right here, and we will be extracting a lot of the energy out of the things, and then obviously we don't until we do this as a society. Even having the robots produce all this stuff, we're fucked basically. Again, I can go on and on and on, but I'm not going to get into it too much because that'll be the final video later. I'm just trying to tell you guys, again, in a nutshell, what needs to be done to get to RBE. So, this is the transition model, basically. Alright, so now comes the oh, come on now. The other model here. And the question is, well, how do you finance it? How's that all going to work, Again, there's two ways we can do it together, or if what someone you would call a miracle happens, one person who is who has either inherited wealth or attained wealth through some kind of business venture or whatever, will finance it. And again, when someone of wealth invests so much money like that, other people with money basically want to invest, but they want to invest something that is a great design, not some fucking hippie shit. I'm sorry for you hippies. I love you guys. Don't worry, but I'm sorry. If we lived how you guys want to live, we would have to take a lot of land. So if you're talking about being environmentally friendly, actually cities are need to be created, but not like how they're created now. They have to be modified, reformed, whatever you want to call them, redesigned. All right. This is my logo in a sense, or just a symbolic image of if we connect together, not only through the internet, but our talent. Oh, come on, man, go away the arrows. Our money, whatever, fuck. Create a credit union. This will give us this. It will produce these fruits for us, basically, in these eco-cities. Anyways, hold on. Oh, there it is. So a step-by-step guide to / template on how to literally finance and build an eco-city. So this is the raw idea, right? Again, we unite our money. We charter a credit union. We incorporate about 8 nonprofits or cooperatives, whatever. They're basically the same. It's just play with words. I mean. Again, this is an open source, so your group can decide however they want to do it, okay? The credit union lends only to the nonprofit / cooperative corporations, right? We buy land together. We hire a land development firm because, again, we're not going to be doing this through voluntary work. All these groups with their volunteers and look, they're financial slaves. They have to pay for fucking shit, and then with some of you people who don't have any skills squabble over the most insignificant things, I can't blame them for thinking like, you know what, I got better shit to do than to fucking waste all my energy, time, and emotion into this, only to be, fucked up because of some egos that don't have any skills or anything to really give forward except for potential future labor, So. And even then, this is one kid I want to showcase later. He's always bitching about not working because robots can do this and this and that. It's like, dude, you're never going to get to RBE by bitching that you don't want to work, okay? There's work to be done, dude. Fucking learn some shit. Anyways, so basically the first company we do start up is a solar and wind farm. Why? Because it's guaranteed income right away. Energy is needed. It's a constant need. It's a guaranteed solar, right? So we invest in all kinds of different technologies. I can go on and on. As you'll see my other folders, this is where all the information is contained. And also I have a bunch of information in my bookmarks, which you'll see later too. Then we obviously got to build a skyscraper. This is some far-fetched ideas, but they're all possible. Especially as we advance in the future. This here was designed to uh, house 1 million people. I like it because obviously it's a pyramid. It's a wide base. So um, uh, it won't. They do have a skyscraper in the middle too, so it's pretty nice. You still get that effect, but you have this stabilizing platform versus these things. This is obviously a lot better. And then what's it called, the Dubai one recently, right? The tallest. They also, I saw a great video on the technology that went into that. Basically the technologies that evolved over time, how each skyscraper improved and or had to engineer to reach how taller and taller points or whatever. But so it'll probably be a mixture of that design and this design right here. But again, this will be the architects, right? They're going to design something for me. I'm going to give them an X amount of number of people that I expect. I already crunched those numbers. The bare minimum people that I need, and so I would probably project for 3 years of growth, with an average of 2 kids per family or whatever, and then basically extrapolate numbers from there and approach design from there. So, but the point is, we need to build skyscrapers, in my opinion. Supported, not these thin sticks. That's just retarded. And you can house everything. I mean, I can go on. There's examples out there that are smaller, not a skyscraper, but still everything's in one building. Yada yada yada. Anyways, so then we obviously need to feed ourselves. Obviously, organic farming is blowing the fuck up. That's guaranteed money, health, all that stuff. World-renowned healing rejuvenation center. These technologies that exist now kind of eliminate for huge expensive hospitals, with the exception of surgery. But we'll have helicopters that would take people from this town if it's kind of remote into surgery things if needed. That's if we don't have get a surgeon ourselves. So who knows who will we attract that is a highly paid technician, skilled, whatever you want to call it. Anyways, we'll have recreational centers because as much as we'll work, we'll have fun, and obviously we'll probably be part of the ecotourism. Again, all this is collectively owned, right? You're all accessible. It's all accessible. No one really owns it, or the corporation owns it, whatever. But anyways, ecotourism. Again, to showcase this is you can live this way even within the system, and I'll get into why this is all going to help transition into a moneyless society. Actually, I'll probably get into it now. So there'll be 15 fundamental service and industries. These are the ones that basically generate revenue, and some of them are just obviously don't generate revenue. There's just a cost of building a city, maintaining a city. So there'll be 9 revenue generators. So these are the revenue generators: the water department, agriculture department, housing, energy, health, upcycling, tourist, design, music label, which is the media stuff. Because over here, transportation department, I mean, that's going to cost us money. These are just ideas, and I got to fill in the rest of these with pictures because I'm using this as my rough draft to present to the creative agencies, so that they can know they can go off that and create their own version of this. This economic model is the exact model that I just showed you guys, which was this one. Oops. You see, and complex, because it's simple, it's much easier to understand. If it's much easier to understand, it's much easier to achieve, okay? So that's that, and this is just a checklist on how to make this become a reality. So I'm talking about here about the website, which I've been designing that, but here's my SketchUp, actually. Well, and for you guys who are like, oh god, that's pathetic, blah 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 blah. And trust me, I know I got way other more, but that's from my business, the business that I'm in. So this is just very limited time. I just want to get something. I crunched some numbers, just trying to basically really pan things out. So the way I see it, we would have circular central pivot irrigation systems, growing hemp, growing basically high value crops, rotating the fields, crop rotation because you don't want to deplete the soil. Um, this is one model I found. I don't know where I found this, but anyways, yeah, there'll be a series of high rises. You can say that maybe they'll all be interlinked. Again, what we actually end up designing, who knows? It will all depend on number of people. And let's say we were designing, right? Let's just pretend. Let's say we do agree on designing this because we're going to interlock all these, and this is going to create a great structure, right? And for the meantime, we'll do triangular supports to make sure that this is up, right? Before we have the money to build the second one, right? Yeah, let's say this would be phase one, right? We'll build phase one. So these things would be built into phases, basically, So in a sense, these are the pies, So we would need our home. This is the someone made the model of the Eden Project, and because so basically we'll have that too as an attraction site, but also grow exotic fruit for us because I plan on making this in a climate that's not necessarily tropical, but it has all 4 seasons, but it has a lot of light. If you guys go through my profile, you might be able to read between the lines what state I'm going to build this in. Anyways, then we'll have our ring of solar panels, right? These are the solar panels. I haven't drawn the rings out yet, and to talk about that, I'm going to show you this great design I found right here. This is kind of like how I would approach it right here. A hexagon grid, which it is in a sense because of these lines, the way that I drew the axis points. Actually, he has more of an axis point here. That's an extra one, so who knows, I might add that in there, as you'll be able to see here. So that's kind of the idea. Then obviously over here we will have our wind generators, our 1.5 megawatt generators, and then there's a company called Nanotech that creates these megawatt portable shipping containers, lithium titanate batteries. Long story. Again, we'll be able to sell that, ship those energy, stored energy to people who rent basically, so they can get better LED points for sustainable architecture and all that crap. And the reason these are out here is because of the flicker effect. If there's homes over here, they'll fuck up with their eyes, whatever. And then there'll be another ring, a water ring, and there'll be like fun rings where, let's say, over here will be like a crazy ass fucking ninja course, terrain course, whatever you want to call it. It's gonna be a fun ass town because I'm a big kid inside. So yeah, I haven't had much time to develop this, and I have way. See, I'm not going to get into that. I can design pretty crazy with this, so this is not even a glimpse of what I can do. I've been designing this because this is more important as of now. This whole 3D model will obviously might have to change, might have to be like this because of the terrain. So you may not be able to have a perfect city. That's why I saved this article and just it's almost exactly what I want to design in a sense. So obviously all these cubes would be phases in a sense, it would obviously we would have to do a census, and that's what the website's all about. So let's go to that one, which I was developing here. Okay, let's go. I guess we'll do that real quick. So you see I was working on this, but now I'll finish it later. I just was inspired by this thread and just want to throw this out there and see what happens, see what you guys think. Let's see, you so-called intellectuals. I'm sure some of you are, and I want to meet you guys, but there are quite a bit of people in this movement that are just, I would say, man, parasites. So, anyways, people don't plan to fail; they fail to plan. Movements don't plan to fail; they fail to plan. Yes, they have some plans, but not that well, and not presented in a way that makes sense to the average person. Basically, keep it simple, make it simple. Yeah. Because they haven't mapped out the logistics and made it into a cohesive video. Basically, that's it. All you have is pretty pictures and stuff like that, but you need the nitty gritty. And ideally, again, the money that I plan on attaining, I'm going to use to also create an animated cartoon. Hopefully, I wish I could do like Pixar style, but whatever. If it has to be 2D animation, big deal. To showcase how life would be, because people will not grab it with just like with flowcharts either. They need to see a story, right? Again, we're people built on stories and mythology and all that stuff, so we need that, and I will provide that. So as you can see, these are some of the very few graphs, infographics, or flowcharts, or mind maps that I've been able to find from you guys. These are not that well, they're not accessible. They're not out there. You really got to look for this, and a lot of them still have some problems with them. Because as powerful as they are, they still need to be explained, as I'm doing right here now with this case. So, how to evolve into a resource-based economy, right? That's what we're talking about. So basically, the first step is to create a website, as what's his name was saying. They'll help us organize ourselves legally, financially, economically, professionally, and socially. Why? Because just how we build houses or products nowadays, we have to start the design process in 3D before we ever break ground. One, because most will not invest financially and emotionally unless they see plans and a complete vision. From everyday people to the credit union that will lend us the money to build. 2, to avoid a huge amount of waste in the construction phase. 3, to avoid miscommunication and design intent from all parties and practices, and practice a true democracy, aka collaborative co-creation. 4, to offer a baseline template that covers all the legal contracts, financial, economic models, professions, cultural, social norms. Kind of like how Linux started, then added to or used by people all over the world. Because not everyone wants to or can move into another country, state, counties, or city village, and even those within a group that is building momentum might need to separate for ideological reasons. One example being vegans versus omnivores, right? So again, open source. If we split up, so be it. You go your own way. Again, this is why. We won't talk about the money as of yet. So this is the basic website design rundown. Oh yeah, I wasn't. See, I'm kind of getting lost in a tangent, but who cares? The point was, how do we, how does all of this translate into making a resource-based, to getting us to a resource-based economy, right? Well, okay, this is not it. So imagine this, right? Oh God, who's bothering me? That's my team. Okay, so I don't have the warehouse thing here. See, it's been a while. I've been too busy with this other project because has a super high chance of making me millions. Let alone this other thing that I've been working on personally. This is more of a collective project than another project that will bring me personally millions. The one I'm working on will bring me a pretty big paycheck and some possible, lower, single-digit millions, but the personal stuff, double digits, and it will all go to this. This is my passion. Anyways, so all right, let's say everything's going right. You wake up, okay. Why it will become a resource-based economy, even though we have money circulating in this setup here, right? Is that you as a person, right? Let's say you just got your new condo, whatever, right? And you want to hang up pictures, whatever. You want to remodel it a little bit, right? Well, in what we'll call it the outer world, right? The outside of our bubble, of our utopia, you would have to go to Home Depot or Menards or whatever to buy a drill, right? Drill, hammer, whatever the fuck. Where in this community we have storage centers that when you bring your stuff, you can either, you have the option of putting it in the collective share part of the warehouse, or you can store it for yourself because you want to sell it or whatever. We don't care. But let me say this: if you naturally don't want to share, and again, depending on what we're talking about here, but let's say in general, share, let's say, inanimate objects, right? Like a drill or a hammer, and there's a bunch of things that we can talk about. This project will not be for you. Why even buy into this cooperative if you won't understand that basic principle? Because that's what we're trying to achieve. So you're in your apartment, right? You need to, you want to add pictures, whatever, remodel a little bit, right? You need tools. So instead of going to the store and buying it, right, which will probably cost you, your drill will cost you about maybe 25 bucks, 50 bucks, hammer maybe another 20. Basically, you're looking at maybe like 100 bucks, right? And you're gonna go home and you're gonna use that, and then it's just gonna sit there, right? Versus our model, it's like, okay, the people that came brought in their stuff. They don't want to hold it in their apartment because it's kind of dumb, whatever, right? It's just ridiculous. Just kind of the same reason why we have storage centers. This is the same reason we'll have them here, but with a different twist. So, so over in this model in this city, you actually go to the sharing center, or you go to the app, make sure it's there, and then you go to the sharing center, or the part of the app design that I talk about later, not here, but in my other videos, is that who knows, your next door neighbor probably was using a hammer because he or she was doing something and they never returned it yet, so it shows that it's right next to you, whatever. It's like, oh, so you go knock on your neighbor's door and grab the hammer, and then go to the other place and grab the fucking drill or whatever. But again, if it's all kind of centralized too, you won't have to go anywhere. But let's say as things get bigger, right? Let's say a bigger model, there would be centers. Yeah, so basically you now save money, right? So imagine the immense amount of things that people buy all the time and only use for a fraction of the time or whatever, and then it just sits in the garage. All that money that you would normally have to waste because you're too afraid to talk to your neighbors, the system is not set up that way, right? Because we have to spend, consume. All of a sudden that disappears, And another example, all right, I plan on having some really nice cars, and obviously I'm not gonna be driving them all. Okay, basically I'm planning on having a Jaguar fucking convertible. I already have a Jeep, so I'm keeping that. A Tesla Model S and a Mercedes small SUV. I forgot what they call it, right? So when I'm in town, and obviously we have a lot, everything's kind of centralized. We really eliminate the need for a car. My cars, right? My cars will be available for anybody to use, right? So you go on the app. You're like, okay, I'm gonna go out of town. I'm gonna go somewhere, whatever. What cars are available? You're like, oh shit, the Tesla's available. All right, you borrow it. Now, if you bring it fucked up, guess what? You're gonna get a strike. And basically, when you go to borrow somebody else's, let's say luxury item, an item that's more expensive, they will see that mark, and they may be friendly and be like, okay, you know what? This would be a chance for you to repair your bad reputation by letting you again borrow a very expensive thing, and if you bring it back in its original condition, you respected it, then that report will be there too. So basically, now the future credit is your reputation. It's not about money now. It's about, do you respect things? And of course, since things will be covered by insurance and all that crap, and it's all collectively, it's pool money. I mean, technically, someone can trash your shit, and it'll be covered, right? So you wouldn't necessarily sweat it, but it also, we don't want that. That's just retarded. We don't need nonsense or unnecessary work, So basically, there you go. So basically, you start saving up lots of money to a point you're like, why the fuck do I need money? Like, it's just accumulating. I just go to this center and I find 90% of the stuff that I would have to buy individually, out in the other world. So basically, money starts racking up, and obviously you can buy more stuff. Which, when you go outside of the town and you buy more stuff, but you come back and you bring this stuff, right? Let's say stuff that actually you don't need all the time. You put it in the that it's available for sharing, and done, boom. So that excess money that everybody's bringing in when they go travel the world, and they come back with that product or whatever that thing, guess what? You now have access to it, so you probably won't buy it. Or maybe you'll be like, oh, I was gonna buy that, but now that I have it in my hands, playing with it, it's shitty. Fuck it, I don't want to buy it. I'm glad this person bought it, But I actually don't want that product, There's something better, and then we'll figure that out. And obviously, we can take all those products and reprocess them and extract the energy out of them. So that's basically it. I have to map that out. It's called a collaborative consumption. Lady did that. Um, but that's the point. That's basically how you would go into research economy, where there's money, but we're not needing it because we created this system of sharing, of access, right? There will be ownership, but who cares if there's ownership in mind if you have access to it, and if you respect it, then you will continue to have access to it. If not, then you're fucked, you know. And eventually, obviously, if you make a lot of red tags on you, you will be basically probably asked to leave the cooperative. You know, you be whatever money you brought in, you'll be booted out. So we don't have prisons here. Whatever, you just get kicked out. You get banished. Anyways, so yeah, this guy. This is more of realistic design. Again, I've been looking at land. Once I get the surveys from them, I'm gonna probably have a hire a crew. Again, I'm planning on financing my own, and it's not gonna be a cooperative. I mean, it's not gonna be a cooperative in the beginning because this is too complex for people to understand. So basically, my plan is to buy land, develop a couple of housings, develop the farm, all these things that I talked about here, on a small scale, and basically, especially the warehouse, and I'll store the stuff that I bought with my money, and obviously hire the firm to develop my app, and boom, start sharing it, and when they see that, like, wow, this is our boss. So basically, it's to encourage other people who have money and who are gaining money, and people who don't have money either to share. It's like it's retarded. So, and share more broadly, because some of these wealthy people share with their family. That's it. So again, I can't blame people for not wanting to share when you got people who destroy that trust. And so the app would eliminate that. Again, your credit would be in the future be how you treat stuff. Anyways, so slowly, and then basically there'll be a breaking period. As I see you're a quality person, yes, there always has to be some authority having to choose. It doesn't have to be abusive, all right? Again, that's where if you don't agree, you can leave. We're not going to put you in a cell, whatever, or kill you because you don't agree with the groupthink, There's enough space for all of us. So, but there has to be a decision maker, because sometimes in a group, shit doesn't happen. And in time, the decision will be made, right? Once the overall system is established, there will be there will be heads, in a sense, kind of like there is now, but there won't be presidents. Again, in the future, it'll be about ideas, well-designed ideas with blueprints and all that stuff. That of course, it may manifest through a certain individual, like it is through me or whatever. But in time, as things gotta get complex, it will be a team effort at the end of the day. And so it's a delicate balance. So. Anyways, then this guy here proves that it's possible to crowdfund. So again, the money that I make will show a living prototype, right? Because you gotta show a living prototype, whatever, will convince other people to invest. So in a sense, we could have crowdfunding develop us, develop our thing. So you guys look into this. Also look into the Mondragon experiment, which it's in my videos. It's crappy how this does it. You gotta go to photos, albums, videos, and right here. So look at Mondragon, because that's kind of what we're aiming for. It's a perfect example of what is possible. We're just twists. We're more organic. We don't build toy replica guns and a bunch of other crap that to us is useless. We keep it basic for the beginning. Anyways, this is my bookmark folders of all the different things that have gone into it. So again, the reason I have a lot of disagreements with a lot of people is because they don't show me this. They don't. When I poke holes into their shit, and I can clearly see they haven't really investigated. They really haven't researched, and they really haven't designed, 3D wise, visually, mind maps, all that stuff. So yep, my folders go on and on, and they all this is in my head. That's why people call me a know-it-all. Let's see here. What else did I want to say? Okay, so that's basically it. That's how you. This is my idea. I gave up on trying to convince a lot of you guys. I'm just gonna fucking make the money and do it myself. And as they say in this context, it's true. Build it and they will come. So I will start the farm, all that crap, put out ads. There's people who will need jobs. They'll come, right? They'll basically do what I say, right? Oh, I sound so bad, right? They'll do what I say. Oh my God, authority. There's such authority, authority and blah, 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 and hierarchy. We don't need that. Does not the Earth revolve around the sun? Does not the moon revolve around the Earth? Does not the sun revolve around the center of the galaxy? Or sorry, the galaxy and galaxies revolve around the center of the universe, right? It's a universal thing. It doesn't have to be derogatory. Do you, as a baby, become an adult overnight? No, your parents are your dictators in a sense. Your king and queen, your president and vice president, however you want to see it, until you grow up. Now, if your king and queen or your parents are good parents and they do have good values, you're probably gonna grow up to be a good person. That's if society is also, in a sense, good, right? Generally good. But if not, you're gonna be basically a piece of shit. So it's all relative. All of it's relative. So if you're like, oh, we should never have authority hierarchy. No, that's not how it goes. So, anywho, I hope you guys see the complexity of all this and how I'm trying to simplify it all. And you guys are more than welcome to contact me. I'm willing to do, if you want more in depth into all this stuff, fucking message me. Though I may not have time, again, I'll try to make time, trust me, for a few, but if I get a shitload, I'm going to discriminate. Yes, I'm going to discriminate, or I'm going to choose, or I'm going to evaluate you as a person. You better have some strong skills. Let's say right now who I would need to talk to is an app developer. If you got really good, solid coding skills and want to help me, so be it. If not, then fine. I'm gonna hire a firm, which is probably a lot faster. They'll finish it a lot faster. So if you're a firm, if you're an owner of a firm and want to contact me and put your team to work to develop the stuff, by all means. Whether you're a software firm or an industrial design firm, I got inventions. We can make lots of money off the small. That's what I figured out. It's a lot about small inventions. Small inventions make a lot of money. For example, right? The guy who created 5-hour energy drink. I don't drink that shit. I don't know if it's good or bad. I don't know. The point is, he is a billionaire now, and he's doing some great engineering things. I don't necessarily agree with them. The intention is great. His approach is kind of okay. I mean, I wish I was part of one of his people he hired, take all his money and start developing this stuff, But I think that might even be too progressive for him. So this is how you basically transition into an RBE, where there will be money, people will have money, but their money will start accumulating so much because they have access to things because of the warehouses that they're going to be like, okay, why the fuck do I need money? But obviously because of the world around us that revolve around money, we still play their game, but at least we do it in a sustainable manner. And again, then all we have to do is wait for their shit to collapse. People are going to be able to look at us as the new model, right? So, yeah. We got to build this all together first in the website, just like we would build, we would build anything nowadays, right? 3D build it, work out the kinks, and then execute. So, alright, y'all. I hope some of you sensitive people weren't turned away because some of the language I use. I'm a proponent of tough love. Enough of this. You gotta get practical. You gotta call bullshit with this bullshit, but also be on your grind. Be able to. So I talk a lot of shit. You'll see a lot of shit in my Facebook thread and all that crap. But this is what I have behind it, and there's more stuff behind it. This is just the tippity tip of the iceberg of what I have going here in design and and planned out. Let's see. Let's give you a quick look into quick look into my spreadsheet. To show you. Oh no, I don't want it that way. Close. I don't like that I don't like that version. Oh, the older version is my preferred. So as you can see, spreadsheets. On spreadsheets, I crunch number for profit sharing, solutions, monetary studies, water, just on and on and on and on and on. So, and of course, all this other stuff. But it really is this simple. All right. When it comes down to this. This is what we have to do. We have to unite our money and create a credit union. Again, the other possibility is we may even have to create one. A credit union can annex us, or we can annex a credit union and be like, you know what? Okay, you guys can utilize us, and obviously they would have to vote to their whole members of the board out, because they may, they could potentially be like, oh, we got their money now, I mean, it would be kind of hard for them to do that because you can always pull your money out, but who knows if they're corrupt or not, whatever, so. But I'm gonna hope that there is, and that they'll come along, and basically we'll skip that potential year process. But it can also be it can be sped up by having the website, which I'm developing, and we'll hire a firm to develop, to do the things that we need to satisfy the federal people that govern the credit union. I go into it quite a bit, trust me. Then obviously even some cooperatives might come in and be like, you know what, we want to move our operations to your town, blah blah blah, So it boils down to this, and the sharing app, the town app, which includes the sharing of resources, so that money piles up, but so it shows us that we don't longer need any money. We just need an effective technological way of getting access to resources and all that stuff, and making sure everybody is happy. Blah, blah, blah. Hopefully this wasn't too fast for some of you. I do tend to think faster than I can talk sometimes, so I'm sure some of the shit I said probably, it's more of a rant and kind of got lost in the whole process of it. I got into a mode of basically I'm presenting this, but what I was trying to do is just give you a complete, in a nutshell, rundown of how to get to a resource-based economy. All right, well, totally rough draft, unedited. I'm going to put it together with Adobe Premiere. It will only be up for 3 days, so you screen grabbers, grab it now. Have fun. If you want to spread it on YouTube, I wouldn't mind. Again, hey, if this turns out to, if you guys want to help me crowdfund some of this shit, so I don't have to wait for the money that I'm working at and not be distracted by it, then I don't know, set it up. You can set it up or whatever. Or you can just send it to me, and I'll set up a website so that we can bypass the fucking Kickstarters and all that crap, and it'll be a direct fund. And again, I will show you basically what I already showed you. Now what I'm going to do is the website is super crucial, because that's the template. We need to design first before we even build a goddamn thing, and obviously talk to each other from distance. And obviously, also the website will also help people that all of a sudden want to be part of that specific project, right? Because there'll be a map showing. Let me show you here. There'll be a map showing all the projects that are going. So you click on it and you'd be like, okay, I want to be part of this project. Yada yada yada. Or sorry, let's say this project was in Florida, right? And you see that it's like, oh shit, there's one in Florida, and then all the people that are liking the project or helping the project in some way are there, and you're like, oh shit, someone lives right next to me, fuck. And then who would have thought? So then you start interacting with each other and see if there's going to be any conflicts, and if there is, and it's like, oh shit, then you already know that you're going to have some mediation, or just they may have to do their own group or whatever. The point is, that's why it's a template. People can do their own group, so there'll be splits, financially to some degree. But again, the only financing we really need in the beginning is just for the cost of the design and getting some land estimates and fucking surveys and shit like that, because we want to look at multiple land sites, get updated surveys, but that's going to cost money. Collectively or individually, again, that's what I'm going to do individually, but again, I wouldn't mind doing collectively. I just don't have a strong intuitive feeling that will work out given all these squabbles you guys have. You guys should be investing in your knowledge of understanding water, food, shelter, energy, and medicine, all that stuff that I kind of presented here in depth. Thank you.